Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Go Intelligent Sports Podcast Show. Well, we are entering another week. The Saints are still on that 6-game slide. This week may be what the doctor ordered. We have the Carolina Panthers coming up, who's playing worse than Saints. So we got to win, right? We got to win this one, right? Can't lose to Carolina, can we? I don't know. Well, I hope not. This week has been widely reported Derek Carr is expected back. Quite honestly, so what? Like, the season is over. The season is over. Saints are 2-6. What are they pushing Derek Carr to come back from? I don't know. But Derek Carr has come out already in his press conference yesterday and said he is not a savior. Hey, dog, who said you was? Who even alluded to you being the savior? Like, no way. Like, no way. Dude, you are you the person that get coaches fired. I don't know what number we on with offensive coordinators in your 10, 11-year career. Like maybe 5, 6. I don't know. I don't know. People don't last long with you though. And you talking about I'm not the savior. No shit. Nobody ever confused you with Jesus Christ. Nobody. I'm not the savior. No. Tell me something I don't know. You know? Tell me something I don't know. Like, this is just crazy, you know. Ugh. The Saints, like, who is putting the Saints up here with this media training? Who's making these guys available to talk to the media? Are they not giving them any classes or any presses or what to say? Because only the goofy stuff is being said by the New Orleans Saints brass and players. This week, we had Dennis Allen come out and say, he doesn't believe we have any young, great players on the roster. I agree. But I don't need you to say it in public. Why don't you have any young, great players on the roster? It's not anybody else's fault except the New Orleans Saints organization, why they don't have young, great players. I go as far as to say, y'all don't have good players on the roster. Maybe 1 or 2. Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave. Marshawn Lattimore is a great player. Is he young? You trying to play this caveat of like players that have aged out of being young or whatever. I would say Marshawn is still young. Marshawn is in year maybe 8. I'd say that's still relatively young. I mean, you're playing him. You depend on him. Like, he's not old. He ain't Cam Jordan. You know, he ain't Demario Davis. You know, that's old. You know, he's in that gray area. But I would say Marshawn Lattimore is a great player, a great young player. I'm gonna go through this list of what the Saints have done in the draft. I'm gonna go back 6 years. Because it's your fault. It's Mickey Loomis' fault. It's Jeff Ireland's fault that we got the goofy stuff that we got on this roster, the dumb shit. It's entirely your fault. Mickey Loomis tried to come out and clean it up, sir. You know, whoa, this the same guy that told us to look beyond the results. What the hell does he know about cleaning up a mess? You know, he knows how to make one. But he don't know about cleaning up. All he do is spread it around. That's what he do. He spread the mess around. He don't clean up nothing. He comes out and says, when comparing these players to Demario Davis and Cameron Jordan, their first 4 years, their career, wasn't the greatest, and then they blossomed into these great players. First of all, that's not true. Cameron Jordan put up numbers since day one. Number 2, you had nothing to do with Demario Davis development because he came from the Jets as a free agent. So why are you comparing him to people? I don't know. Why are you comparing him to your team? You know, you don't develop players. Let's be honest. You do not develop young players. Also, I'll go as far as to say you do not draft great players. You don't draft well. You don't. You know, it's just some of the dumbest crap I've heard come out of people's mouth. Like, you're doing you just talk. Stop. Get off the internet. Get out of these interviews and go to work. Period. The Saints ain't been winning or haven't won a game since the press release and press run they did after the Dallas Cowboys game. That week, the Saints went on a big press release. They were on everybody's podcast. Fox did a feature on Derek Carr. And guess what? The season ain't been the same since. Get out of the media and go to work. Period. Not only that, take your scouting department and turn that motherfucker upside down and get everybody out of there. Starting with Jeff Ireland. Either he has to redo some stuff or he has to get out of there. The way y'all are going about evaluating these players does not work. Change it up. Do something different. Because I'm about to hit you with these numbers and people that you drafted and passed up on in the draft. 2018. You draft Marcus Davenport at number 14. Guess what you did to get Marcus Davenport? You traded. Yeah, you traded up. You traded up. You traded your first round pick from that year. You traded next year's first round pick in 2018. In 2019. And you traded the 2018 fifth round pick for a player who, guess what? Barely played for us, was always injured. And guess what he's doing now? He's not even with the team anymore. And the new team he's with, he ain't playing for them either. But you take him and you trade your next first round pick to go up in the draft and get this bum. But we don't have any young great players. Guess who you passed up on to go trade up to go get the bum? You passed on Derwin James. We just seen how he played Sunday. And you passed up on the big one, Lamar Jackson. And you needed a quarterback. You knew Drew Brees couldn't throw 25 yards, but you passed on a young talented player, Lamar Jackson, who's been the NFL MVP by now. You passed on that to get a player who's a bum, often injured, and still ain't playing to this day for his new team. But I don't want to stop right there. I won't make this video too long. I won't make it too long because I could go all day with this. Because I could have went back further. But I'm 2019, you don't have a first round draft pick because you traded up the year before to get Marcus Davenport. We take Eric McCoy in the second round. That's a good pick. You gonna tell me Eric McCoy is not a young great player? Eric McCoy isn't a young great player. When he got injured, your offensive line fell off the face of the earth. You gonna tell me Eric McCoy wasn't the duct tape holding that piece of crap together? You're tripping. In the fourth round, you take C.D. Deuce. C.D. Deuce is no longer with the team. He played well for you, though. You just didn't want to pay him. Contract negotiations. It's a business. I understand it. I'm not going to hold that against you. But to say that you don't have any young, great players on the team when you had C.D. Deuce, who, by all intents and purposes, played great for you. He did, and he wanted a payday. You didn't want to pay him. Cesar Ruiz is your 2020 first round draft pick, the COVID year. Everybody sitting at home watching the draft, being drafted. You passed up on Jordan Love. You still needed a goddamn quarterback. You passed up on Jordan Love, and you passed up on a linebacker who I can't remember we ever drafted any great linebackers. Patrick Queen. And he right up the road off the national championship year. You passed up on him. In the third round, you take Adam Troutman. He out there with his partner, Sean Percocet, and he still ain't playing. We don't have no young, great players. It's your goddamn fault. Let's keep going. 2021, you take Peyton Turner. Had you not learned from goddamn Marcus Davenport? You take Peyton Turner. Guess what he's doing? He's just been getting the money and ain't playing nothing. Ain't doing nothing. Don't jump off the goddamn screen. Always injured. You take him. You take Pete Warner. You take Paulson Adebo. The last two, Pete Warner and Paulson Adebo, are playing well. They're playing well for you. Paulson likes to grab a lot or whatever, but that's because he got Marshawn on the other side, and people don't want to throw Marshawn's way, so he gets tested a lot. And I'm going to assume he's probably tired. Technique goes out of the goddamn window. But while he's here, he does get a lot of pass interferences, but he plays well for you. Speed of recovery to Paulson Adebo. Paulson Adebo can absolutely be a young, great player. He's a young, good player. He's a young, good player. He's not great yet. He's a little too handsy. 2022, Chris Olave. You traded up to get Chris Olave. Chris Olave is a young, great player. You just don't throw him the goddamn ball a lot. He's a young, great player. You got to give him the ball more. He's clearly heads and shoulders the number one receiver on his team, but you don't want to throw him the ball. It's kind of weird to me. It's very weird. Your next pick, 7 picks later, you traded up to get Trevor Penning. I ain't got to tell you what the hell Trevor Penning is doing or who he's been. You're only playing him out of necessity because you need some fucking body out there that got breath in their body, that a fucking pulse. That's the only reason why you're playing him, because you don't have nothing else behind him. But he absolutely is not first-round pick material, and you traded up to get a project, and you called him a project from day one. That's the dumbest shit ever, but we don't have any young, great players. You got Elante Taylor in the third round. Yeah, Elante Taylor is playing well. He does some nut shit Sunday, jumping for the ball and swatting that air and letting McConkey get behind him. But for the most part, he's playing well. 2023 is Brian Breesy in the first round. You didn't have a first-round pick in 2023 because you traded that first-round pick to get Chris Olave. You only ended up with a first-round pick because Sean Percocet decided, I miss coaching or whatever. He didn't get that San Diego job like he wanted, and the money probably was running out. He said, I got to get back out there. He goes and takes the Denver Broncos job, and you negotiated a first round and a third round pick from the other year. Like this is the crazy shit. You gave Sean Percocet away. You gave him away for a first round pick from 2023, and then you will say, give me your third round pick from 2024. Man, I'd have got everything I can get. I'd have got 2 first-round picks, maybe 2 first rounds and a third round from the next. I'd have get something, man. You got to give me something. You got to give me whatever the hell I want. Or he doesn't coach for you. How about that? You negotiated that because you're friends. You ain't got no freaking nuts, Mickey. Brian Breesy in the first round. Isaiah Foskey in the second round. Kendre Miller in the third round. Nick Saldivari in the fourth round. Another trade up. You get Jake Hare in the fourth round. A.T. Perry in the sixth round. All the while, Puka Nacua is sitting in the fifth round. But we have no young, great players. What has Isaiah Foskey done for you? What has Kendre Miller done for you except give you all the work in the goddamn medical ward? What has he done? He keeping the doctors employed. That's for damn sure. Nick Saldivari, the jury's still out on him, but he's injured. Jake Hare, he ain't nobody. He's a bum. I ain't going to say he's a bum, but he ain't doing nothing. He's a 4th-round pick. A.T. Perry is already in Denver. But we have no young, great players. It is entirely Mickey Loomis' fault. You suck, Mickey. You need to be fired along with your partner, Dennis Allen. Gail Benson has to come off of the high horse and get rid of you. But she didn't ask for this. She just wanted to be a pretty lady on her husband's arm. And the team got left to her because Tom Benson was beefing with his real family. I ain't gonna say Gail ain't his real family, but y'all know what I'm saying. His blood. He beefing with them and gave the team to Gail out of spite. Now she running the damn thing. She ain't running it. Mickey Loomis is the fucking owner. He running the goddamn team into the ground. Don't want to fire nobody who tells you he don't have no great young players. You don't want to fire nobody that made the fucking offensive coordinator, Pete Carmichael, the damn coordinator, even when Pete told you he ain't want the job. You don't want to fire a guy who comes out and apologizes to the goddamn fired coach from Atlanta Falcons. The man was fired before the game started, and you apologizing to him off some shit that Jameis Winston did, who, by the way, is in Cleveland balling after that first game that he played. And we out here struggling with the Sesame Street crew at quarterback. And I ain't going to try to get on Spencer because Spencer is a fifth-round draft pick, and you expected too much from him, and you gave him the fucking preseason team and expect him to go out there and do his thing. What do you expect? This team is going to the hell in a handbasket. I'm sick of them. I'm tired of them. I want them to get out the damn media. I swear, if you don't beat Carolina, there's no way you can bring him back, Mickey, if you don't beat Carolina. Hate this goddamn team. 2-6. How you ain't won a game since September 15th? Dog, it's October 31st. It's Halloween. And we still got this fool out here saying crap like this about what he don't have. I seen Sean Perkins win with Trevor Siemian throwing to goddamn Kevin White. He ain't got no players. Goddamn lie. You got all the players in the world. You suck at coaching. Anyway, this video is probably going on for far too long, and I don't want to get my blood pressure too much higher. Even though I ain't got no blood pressure problem, I'm just saying, hollering and screaming about something that I can't control. Because Mickey ain't firing DA. DA ain't going nowhere. Gail Benson going to continue to keep smiling and whatnot. Just happy to be there. And his team going to still be ass. But I'm going to be there to watch him. Because I'm a Saints fan. Oh, well. This has been another episode of the Good Intelligence Sports Podcast Show. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to share it with me today. And I appreciate you for that. To everybody that's been supporting the channel, liking videos, recommending them, sharing them, and all. Hey, I appreciate it all. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Until next time, peace.